Joining me now, my friend and mentor, the reason I get to bring you this show every single night, the great Michael Berry, the Czar of Talk. Michael, I don't know if you've heard,
Feliz
but
cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños, querido Jesse. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. That's happy birthday in Spanish, Jesse. I'm trying to add a little diversity. I saw you had a split black people last week, but that's about it. It's a bunch of white people, and I'm trying to bring a little something to the show here. Trying to help.
I know exactly what you're doing because, as you well know, Michael, I habla a little bit too. I can speak Mexican with the best of them, as you've seen several times.
You spent a week or two in Arizona. Yes, we know. Happy birthday, 41 years old, Jesse Nolan Kelly, JNK. Put a little U in the middle, Junk, his high school nickname. I thought I'd drop that today. Most people don't know it. Listen, Jesse, nobody wants to hear me talk about Kamala Harris or AOC or any of that stuff. I'm going to interview you here on the show. It's your 41st birthday. Happy birthday. Couple of questions for you. We're throwing this thing out.
Okay.
All right. So tell folks quickly. I want quick answers. Where were you born?
Steubenville, Ohio.
Last movie you watched?
The Northman, that new sweet Viking movie. Gosh, it's awesome. You got to watch it. Not for the kids. Highly recommend it, though, for dudes.
One interesting thing about your youngest son.
My youngest son. He is an obsessive reader to the point where I told him long ago that he would never have to buy books. You know, we don't give him a bunch of toys and stuff like that. But if you want a book, I'll buy you a book, period. That has turned into, no joke, a financial disaster for the family. If you go right now to his house and look, you'll find, or to our house, you'll find 10 books hidden in his bed. I'll catch him sneaking out of his bed at 10 o'clock at night with a headlamp on to raid new books. He's a reading freak. I don't know what's wrong with him. What a nerd.
Well, where does he get that from? His dad. That is the most precocious kid. He's going to be quoting Shakespeare in 8th grade. It's going to be very, very impressive. All right. Favorite band from the 70s?
CCR.
Sexiest Democrat woman?
Oh, sexiest Democrat.
We need quick answers.
Man.
It's too much.
Okay. Look, AOC. It's got to be AOC.
Sexiest Republican woman?
Man, there's a pile of them on. Probably Kristi Noem, right? I mean, if we're being honest here, it's got to be Kristi.
Just
Noem.
nice arms.
She looks good.
Nice arms.
Yeah, she does.
Republican that you say nice things about, but truthfully you don't actually like him.
Republican, I say nice. Well, I don't say nice things about any of them. They all suck.
Yeah, sometimes you go a little soft. Military man you would most want to be. Military man you most respect of the American military.
Oh, man. Edson. I would highly recommend people look up Edson's Raiders. He was a Marine Raider in the Pacific portion of World War II. Did a bunch of cool stuff. I'm not explaining to you, Michael. I'm explaining to them.
I'm going to cut some slack for you on that because you're that guy that has to do the deep cut on the band that nobody's ever heard of. Historical figure you would most like to have a beer with?
Oh, Julius Caesar. No question.
Most off-brand thing that you do that your audience would be surprised by because it's a little pinky in the air kind of thing?
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I argue with the wife about this because I disagree with her. She says I am prone now and then to ordering girly drinks if we go out on a date. It was just
I've seen you do that. I've seen you drink the pina colada in Palm Beach, Florida.
There's nothing girly about a pina colada. This is where I have an argument with it. We're in Palm Beach, Florida. It's you and me having drinks. I can't have a pina colada? Never mind.
Your brand, it's not mine. It's your brand, it's not mine. If you had to run a mile today, and let's not exaggerate, you're not in the Marines anymore. How fast could you run a mile right now?
13 minutes.
How many miles could you run right now without stopping?
2, but that's because I have, after 2, the right knee says I'm not running anymore. There's nothing I can do about that.
You couldn't do 2 right now. You could.
That's a lie. That's a lie. You don't know my physical fitness level.
Have you ever told a story on the air about the thing under your foot that was living there for 20 years? You should tell that
I did.
story.
I've told the story on the air several times about the sea urchin I got that got stuck in my foot in Okinawa when I had a couple too many Bud Heavies and I decided I wanted to go swimming in the ocean and I ended up stepping on a sea urchin and I didn't know some of the spine was in there for about 17 years. Yes.
Living person you would most like to meet?
Gosh. There aren't any. I don't find people to be that particularly interesting at all.
Teacher, coach, military man who most influenced who you are today?
Teacher, coach, military man who most influenced. We had a first sergeant when I first got to the Marines. Cunningham is his last name. He was, for those who don't know, a first sergeant's like the top enlisted man for your company, our infantry company. We had a first sergeant there, Cunningham. I still text him every now and then. That guy was the hardest man I've ever known in my life. 125 degrees. We're doing a long field op in 29 Palms, California. It's so hot outside when we're not out there shooting and moving. We're laying down with our flak jackets open, shirts open, pouring water on ourselves, doing everything we can to try to stay cool. And in comes First Sergeant Cunningham, flak jacket completely sealed up, Kevlar helmet on, a big Copenhagen in his lip, the biggest one you've ever seen in your life, drinking a steaming hot cup of coffee in the middle of the day, and he walks in and looks at all of us there and starts unleashing this tirade of profanities I could not even say on the air today about what pathetic, weak little girls we all were. Before you knew it, we were all sitting there buttoned up and ready to go trying to impress Cunningham. That's a hard man right there.
Best advice your dad ever gave you?
Don't be an idiot. He told me that about 1,000 times, and I thought he was just being mean most of the time. That's actually really great advice for life. You don't have to be great. Just don't be a moron, and things will end up working out in the end.
You give your kids that advice?
I do. I tell them stupidity is expensive, as you just found out. I told you to put on sunscreen. You didn't put on sunscreen. Oh, look at that. That sunburn hurts. Come here. Let me pat you on the back and remind you that you were stupid and stupid was expensive, and now you'll be smarter because you paid for your own stupidity.
What's the one thing that you and Aubrey argued over that you now realize she was right?
That we argued over that I'm not. I'll tell you one thing. When I was done in politics, I had run for office twice and lost twice. I had worked in D.C., working in the political world for a year and hated it. And I scrapped all that. And I moved to Texas and became an RV salesman. Everybody knows that. I found a job selling RVs on Craigslist just to pay the bills. Selling RVs. She was appreciative, don't get me wrong. She hated that. She rode me about that forever. Not because she disrespected selling RVs. She thought I was made to do something in the political realm. And so she would just ride me about, no, write something, get something published. No, do something. This isn't what you're supposed to be. And I'd tell her, pipe down, woman, I'm paying the bills. But she was right.
All right, I know they're going to kick me off at some point, but I'm going to tell this quick story. The thing I probably admire more about you than your talent or anything else, I'm going to say one thing nice about you, is when I met Jesse Kelly, I interviewed him on my show. I knew this guy had world-class talent. You don't come across this kind of talent. You just don't come across it. And he was an RV salesman, which is a great job. So there's dignity in that. It's fine. He's making pretty good money. And I said to him, you need to be a content creator, an entertainer, an influencer, an informer. You are a talent, Tucker Carlson or better. You've got the skills. And it wasn't hardly any time later, he's quit his job. I said, whoa. I meant go all in. I didn't mean go that all in. He spent 6 months with making no money and drains down his entire savings until it hit, and look at you now. And I'm so proud of you. Happy birthday, my friend. I love you.
Thank you, my brother. I owe it all to you. Appreciate you.
He didn't say he loved me back. It's not very nice.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.